Don't miss a beat, join the notification squad by clicking that bell. You'll get notified every time I upload a video, and be sure to join our Discord to talk and get help with your code.
Hello everyone, my name is Sebastian and welcome back to a brand new video on the SourceCode channel. This is part 2 of episode 6, and in this video we'll continue our Tweeter app. So in the first episode we set up our navbar to work and we are now using multiple files. In this part we'll continue building the application and see how far we can get. So next up we want to make a tweet section. So that is the part where we have a search bar and we have our tweets displayed. So I'm going to make a new component and I'm going to call it tweets. And then inside of there I'm going to type template and then press tab and then save it. And inside of our app.vue we can say import tweets from /components /tweets.vue. And then important is that under app navbar we add our tweets back so that we can use as a component right here. And then just simply put tweets under app navbar. So this basically means that we now have a tweet section underneath here. So in this section we want to have a search bar and a couple of tweets. So to do that we want to make a div and give it a class of tweets. And then we want to put an input where the placeholder equals search, and we're going to change this later on to function like a search bar. And then underneath that we want to have different tweet components. So we want to make a new component which is going to be tweet.vue, and that is going to have a template as well. And then we can import the tweet right here. So instead of doing /components we just say /tweets.vue, and that is because we're already in the components folder, so we just say this folder and then the tweets file. And then inside export default we're going to put a name of tweets, and we're going to put our components as tweets. So that means we can put tweets inside of this section. So then we can work on the tweet, which is just going to be a name of tweet. And I'm just going to provide a simple class tweet and a simple header, which is this is a tweet. And this just to see that we can create tweets and put it inside of our HTML. So then inside tweets.vue just put tweet and you'll see that we have this is a tweet. And you can see that we can import different components from child components and then use these components as child components. So we have our app, and that app has tweets, and a tweet has a search bar and different tweets, and then we have a tweet section. So now what we want to do is we want to make it so that for each tweet we have, we create a tweet component. So we're going to create a couple of tweets. So inside of our data we put tweets and then an array of different tweets. So for each tweet I want to have a user, and the first one is going to be Bob, and then the message, which is going to be hello, I am new. And then we want to have a liked, which is going to be an array. And in liked we'll have the names of users that have liked the tweet, so we can keep track of that. And then I'm going to add 2 more. First one is going to be Jake, and Jake is going to say hello world and liked. And then we're going to put Mark with a message of what is up, everyone, and an array of liked. And then inside of the liked array for Bob and Mark, I'm going to put some names inside of it so we can keep track of likes. So Mark liked Bob's tweet, and Stan liked Bob's tweet, and then Mark's tweet was liked by Jake. Inside of our template, we want to put tweet and then a for loop, and for each tweet in tweets, we want to create that component. And as we see right now, it won't do anything because we need to bind the items to it. So we say vbind equals the tweet, and that will already do some work for us. And then we can put vbind the key, and for the keys I'm going to use the index, so we can put tweet comma I, and that will give us the index. So the first tweet is going to be index 1, 2, 3, and inside of here we can put I. So that'll be an easy way of providing keys, so we don't need to put keys inside of here. Then inside of our tweet, we want to say which props we want to expect. So that's going to be an array, and we give it a couple of things. So we give it a user, a message, and liked. So we're going to get a user, which is a string, a message, which is a string, and liked, which is an array. And this will automatically put everything into place. Before we continue, I realized I made a stupid mistake. I have defined the data as an object, but an important thing about components is that data should be a function, and that is because it will make sure that we don't have any issues with pointers, and that can cause a lot of issues between different components, especially when you duplicate components. So when we do data, we'll see that it'll work properly. That is why it didn't work before. Inside of each tweet, we have our tweet bound, and we can use these props to display things. So then each tweet has a header, which is going to be the user, a P, which is going to be the message, and then we want to have a like button. So I'm going to make a new file, which is going to be called likebutton.view, and then I'm going to put a template, and I'm just going to provide a div with the class of likebutton, and then a button, and I'm just going to remove these attributes, and then say like, and then have a P with the amount of likes that we have, and I'm just going to put 15 for now. Then inside of our tweet, we can import the like button, so we can put that inside of our template. So import like button from ./like button, and then we need to put that like button inside of our components, and then we can reference the like button right here. So we have a set of tweets, and I realized I changed that during figuring out why it didn't work. So we have a set of tweets which are generated out of this array, and then each tweet has this information, and then each tweet has a like button. So now instead of just having the like button set to 15, we want to be able to see the amount of likes that we have. So I'm going to bind liked as liked, and that is going to give liked to the like button. Then inside of our like button, we can say name equals a like button, and the props is going to be liked, which is an array. And then inside of our P, we can replace 15 by liked.length. And as you'll see, we can see 2, 0, and 1. And that is just the amount of likes that that tweet has. So then we want to do a bit of styling so it doesn't look this ugly. So instead of changing the styling of the input and the tweet separately, we can just say that each tweet or the entire tweet section needs to have a specific styling. And that will make it easy to center everything properly. So I'm going to provide it with a width of 600 pixels. And I want the margin to be 0 and auto, which will automatically center everything right here. So if I make this smaller, you'll see that it'll center it from the side. And then I want the input to also have a margin of 0 and auto. And I want it to display as block. And then we see that that automatically centers it as well. And then I'm going to give it a margin at the top of 25 pixels to move it down a bit. And then we want to style each tweet from a different part, because we want to style the tweets from inside of here and not inside of this tweet section. So then we can style each tweet. So I'm going to say the class tweet, which is the tweet component. I'm going to give a border bottom of 1 pix solid and black. So that'll give us a great way of seeing where the tweet ends. And then we can style our like button, which is going to be a bit more complicated. So we're going to say display flex, and then I'm going to give it a width of 60 pixels, a height of 30 pixels, and I want DP to have a margin of 0. And then I want to put a align items on this, and then say center and a justify content of center. And that'll put it like that. So then the P needs to have a margin at the left side. So I want to say 0, 0, 0, 10 pixels. And then I want to change the width to 100 pixels to make it a bit larger. And then I want to style the button to have no border, no outline, to be transparent. So background color transparent. And then I'm just going to give it a border of 1 pixel solid black. So we can see we have a like button. And then I'm going to give it a cursor of pointer so we can see when we hover over it that we can click it. And then when we hover over the button, I want to give it a background color of FF0000, which is red, so we can see that we can like it. And I won't do any fancy animations, it's just the layout design for this part. So now that we have styled every part, we can make it all functional. So we want it to be able to like certain tweets, and we want to be able to search for certain tweet content. So if we type hello, it should display every tweet that has hello inside of it. But we'll do that in the next part. So if you enjoyed it, be sure to drop a like, and if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode.